Sure, love fit. It's yours truly, the Don Lumtala, Lumtalar, Lumtalest. I am here at Mpumalanga A Year 2 show just to have a young chat with you guys. They asked me to come here and do a little question and answer session with some of my fans. And I'm aware that not everybody is a Pressure fan and not everybody knows about Pressure. So I'm just going to take a couple of seconds and introduce me to those who don't know. All the people that have been living under a rock. Eh? Let's wake you guys up. So Pressure originally from Nkomazi. Nkomazi Kamhlushwa. I left Nkomazi in 2006 with my family. And I've been based in Nelspruit ever since. And I'm a person that loves music, man. I love hip-hop music. I write hip-hop music. And I record hip-hop music. And yeah, just an amazing person in my own opinion. I hope you guys can agree. Away. Thank you. The first question comes from Nomcebo Zita on Facebook. Shout out to you, Nomcebo. Thank you so much for coming through with your question. Uti Nomcebo, apart from music, what do you do with your spare time? Apart from music, what do I do with my spare time? FIFA. Yeah, FIFA. A lot of FIFA. I like to think that I'm amongst, the elite when it comes to FIFA. And if you don't believe me, so away. Yeah, I play a lot of FIFA. I apart from music, what else do I do? Play a lot of FIFA. I work in radio, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's very much related to music. I also run. I'm in property basically. I run a commune basically. Yeah. So, yeah. That's where I get some of the money from that funds the craft that I do. Otherwise, yeah, that's what I do, man. It's FIFA and running this commune corner line na sport and bombel. Tak. Our second question comes from Muzi Bibo. Utiena, how did you start getting into music? Thank you so much for the question, bro. Music has been something that's been in my family my whole life, to be honest. I grew up in a musical family. My parents are pastors, and my mother was actually a very, 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 very well-known gospel artist in the area of Nkomazi. She has about 2 albums under her name. And yeah, so like music has been something that's always been in my family. And for me to get really into hip-hop, I think credit has to go to my big bros. Big shout out to Tina Koza. Big shout out to Banele Koza. Big shout out to Ndumiso Makakula. Big shout out to Ngulego Makubela. These are my uncles, and these are people that have really influenced me because they were making music when I was just a pikinini youngster. They were always in studio, recording music, and they would let me hang out there. So I grew an interest actually in music because of being in that environment with those guys. So big shout out to them. Thank you, music. The next question comes from Zen Lapa Facebook. Utsi yena, what was your first encounter with hip-hop music? That's a very good question, bro. That's a very, very good question. My first encounter with hip-hop music. So for me, music has always been singing, vocals. That's always been music to me. I was either hearing gospel. If I'm not at home and I'm out there, it's either, there's reggae music or there's jazz music. And, yeah, that kind of music. Music has always been about singing when I was growing up. And the first time I heard a rap song, I was like, wow. Lo mshito ushaya ingoma mara akacula uyakhuluma. Ingoma yonke cabanga, a whole song. Uyakhuluma akaculi. And that just blew my mind. I didn't think it was possible to make music without singing. I thought music was, singing. Kuthi umuntu agibele tu kwengoma akhuluma ingoma yonke. Kuthi na yinye iphatha athi hey ha ha akakwenzi lokho uyakhuluma. For me that was like mind blowing. The first time I heard somebody actually rap, it was actually Busta Rhymes on a song called Break Your Neck. Yeah, that was the first song that I heard, and yeah, I fell in love with rap ever since. Away. The next question comes from Charmaine Ngosi. Hey, the question there, guys. Do I have to read all of them? Okay. Uthi Charmaine Ngosi, are you single or taken? Okay, first of all, meaning ngitalwa ngilangosi, yabo? Ngitalwa ngidlamini, so automatically when you are not in the conversation really at all, whether I'm taken or not, when vele ngesakhona lokuthi sikubale. But to answer your question, I can safely say I'm not available. Yeah, I'm definitely not available, and that's as far as I can answer that question. It's a very personal question, very, very personal question, but I am not available. That's what I can say. Awe. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, Zamine. Mamncane. You say, hey. The next question comes from Sandiso Masilela. What is the highlight of your career so far? There's been a lot, to be honest. There's been a lot, but this right here. Hold on. This right here is definitely one of them, man. Winning Best Hip Hop Song of the Year at the Mpumalanga Sunshine Awards 2016 with Next Big Thing. I think that's the song that really deserves to have an award. It's the only song in my whole catalog that has an award. And yeah, Next Big Thing, definitely a big song. Definitely a song that basically, started my career. So yeah, big shout out to that. That was definitely an amazing moment for me. I didn't expect to win. So when they called my name, I was kind of stunned a little bit. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it was a really beautiful moment, man. My dad was there, so that made it very special. My mother's with me everywhere, so yeah, shout out to Dlamini one time. But yeah, that was an amazing moment, Bafetu. Yes. Mpumalanga Sunshine Award. Yeah, we did well, man. We did well. We've been doing great. Thank you so much, Sandy, for your comment, man. I really appreciate you. The next question comes from Nhlakanipho Mthembu. He's asking Gutsi, what was on your mind when you wrote the song Hamba? The song Hamba. To be honest, when I wrote the song Hamba, I wasn't really in the best space, to be honest. In retrospect, I do feel like it was actually me being entitled. I think it was me being a little bit complacent. Because on the song, like, I'm talking about how long I've actually, been making music, and I'm talking about where I think, I should be. On the first verse, I'm not sure if I remember this verse, but on the first verse I said, Been on the road since cartwheels, brick cars, Tazos, Yu-Gi-Oh cars, Cassie Cheese Boy, Bibo, Mustafa, Zangief Blanca, Contra, Rugal, Hogan, Pumba, OG, but I'm still a new guy, Rob Van Dam, Broad Daylight. Well, man, boy, I've been nice. So what I'm saying there is I've been at this thing for a very, very long time, since Mustafa, since, Rugal, since, Street Fighter, I've been at it for that long. I was never the kid that was like wondering, would see, what can I do with my life? I was never that kid would see, now I want to be a doctor, now I want to be a policeman. No, I always knew with my life, is the music, and that's what I want to do with my time. And so, just looking at myself and feeling like I'm not where I want to be, or feeling like I could be further, definitely, took its toll on me a little bit, because, even on the chorus, I say, I've been only for the longest time. So it's just me, talking about how I feel and where I am and where I want to be. And also on the second verse, I actually talk about how people around me, have been vocal in saying, Donna, maybe you should try something else, Donna, maybe stop for a while, like, there's people that have told me, hey man, aren't you thinking of, perhaps going into ministry, since, that's been in your family, and, rock a cross chain like I'm Catholic. But everything in my life has always led me back to music, and so yeah. But anyway, that's where I was when I wrote that song, man. That's where I was. But people never actually noticed that, because it has a very vibey hook, a very upbeat tempo. The beat is crazy. Big shout out to Frank My Beats for that. The beat is amazing, and so people hardly notice the actual message behind the song. But I think the message with my life holistically is that you got to keep going, keep believing in yourself, and be flexible, but don't give up on your dream. Yeah, that's basically where I was. Thank you, boy. Away. Like I said, big shout out, Buffett. Thank you so much for the questions. We're actually about to go to the last one. But before we even do that, do me a favor, make sure that you subscribe to the channels below. Subscribe to my channel at Don_Pressure_worldwide, and subscribe to Mpumalanga Eyetu channel, Mpumalanga Eyetu show. Please make sure you support Buffet to do the right thing. Hit the notification bells. That guy is singing YouTubeist. So please make sure that you subscribe and you hit those bells. Pesima Kakula Utiena, when are we getting an album? Wow. Yo guys, guys, album is ngabo iphaphele kuse. Yo. Njengiva kushisa. An album. Okay, one thing I can tell you is that the title of my album is God Is Not Blind. That's the title of the album that's coming. In terms of when, guys, the album is not easy, guys. Album is not easy. It's not a joke, man. It's not a joke, young Tola. So, it's not easy to put this thing together. But that was Java, but don't share that, man. Shout out to Java. I love the new album, by the way. 2025. God Is Not Blind. The album is coming out. Yeah, God Is Not Blind, the album 2025. Make sure that you're ready. Make sure that when it comes out, you go and get it. You're going to get the merchandise, because we're going to go hard with merchandise. We're making t-shirts, hoodies, and everything. So we're going to need your support in that regard. Until the 2025, God Is Not Blind, the album is coming out. Otherwise, it's been a ball. It's been a vibe. Yours truly, the Don Lomtelest is signing out. Let me see you again on the next. I don't know when they're going to call me back, but I hope they're going to call me back. I'm sure I didn't mess anything up. But let me see you again next time when we link up with Mpumalanga Eyetu. Thank you.